Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke. Duran got me laughing before we even get started over here, man. So, of course, over here, I got with me
Duran, no cool nickname, but we here doing it again, man. Welcome back. Put the nicknames in the comments.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
We gotta get you a good one, man.
We'll see.
So y'all go ahead and put those in the comments, though.
Yeah.
So anyway, here we are back again. Doing our thing.
Yeah.
And we're gonna smoke something that neither one of us have had.
Yeah, this is interesting. So I've never even heard of the brand, to be completely honest.
No, me neither.
So like this is a rarity for us. Neither one of us have ever heard of the brand. We've never had a cigar. So we're going into this thing totally blind.
Totally
right?
blind.
Totally blind.
Yep.
So blind that I'm going to have to use my cell phone to tell you about this cigar because we really don't know.
No.
All right. It's made by Lampert Cigars. It's the 1675 Edition Azul. Wrapper is Ecuador, binder is Nicaragua, and the filler is Nicaragua as well. But we can say, when we pulled it out of the cello, it smells fantastic.
It has a great aroma,
like just the aroma of this cigar is phenomenal.
I said, it smells like it's got some age on it.
Yeah, it smells great. So I'm looking forward to smoking this and finding out if Lampert is something that we should add to the collection.
Yeah, and we got this from a new cigar lounge that opened up nearby. I say nearby, not too far from us. And they're going to specialize in boutiques, and I guess this falls into that boutique category. And so I'm kind of excited to, be able to try a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah, man. So
stuff I hadn't even heard of before.
I think that'll be cool for the podcast, right? Because
yeah.
It's been a deal for you to try to show me things I haven't tried, but none of this stuff is stuff that we're both trying for the first time. So this is pretty cool to see what we think.
The draw is nice.
Cold draw is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't normally jump into our cigars without talking about our bourbon, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and light mine.
I know. I'm really interested to see what this is gonna taste like.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and light too.
Let's go for it, man.
Different than I expected.
Yeah. Okay.
Real earthy.
Yeah, I was trying to place the flavor because it's got a definite unique, flavor, something that I've had before. Notes of something that I've had before. And I would say leathery. Like you ever like chew on a piece of leather?
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is what that tastes like. This is very
Jason, where were you chewing on a piece of leather?
Hmm?
Where were you chewing on a piece of leather? And for what reason?
I mean, I don't even remember why or whatever. I just remember
chewing on leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
I mean, it could have been, when I was out in New Mexico, when I spent some time out there.
Okay.
I mean, it could have been when I was a kid. I mean, shoot, I can't even remember when that was. But it's funny how we can remember a flavor or a scent, but to sit there and, try to remember when or what.
No clue.
Where you were.
Right.
I don't have a clue. Can't tell you.
There's a bitterness to this
that
I don't know that I'm fond of.
It's definitely different. So did you find out anything more about the brand?
No. I honestly I didn't look a whole lot into the brand, right?
Okay.
Like they're very much a boutique.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I went searching high. I figured that would be something I might look into if I enjoyed the cigar.
Don't want to put too much into it if you
Right,
don't like
like,
it.
you know, if I
Yeah.
hate it, I don't want to,
Yeah.
So it was one of those like, okay, I'll go and do some more research if we actually enjoy the cigar, right? Find out a little more maybe about the heritage, how long they've been around, all that type of stuff.
Right.
But
Right.
initial thought process, it's not. Oh, it's not. It doesn't jump out to me to be, And again, we're very much into just the first part of the foot.
Yeah, I mean it's the foot,
but it's nothing special.
Yeah, I agree. The foot is not blowing me away.
No, you see, I've put it down, and I don't normally put my cigar down, and I'm hoping that maybe it'll open up a little bit.
Right, right.
Change complexities. So let's talk bourbon. What we got here? I'm going to lean on you on the bourbons. I mean, of course, we know what Elijah Craig is, but that's a specific Elijah Craig.
Yeah, this is a barrel pick, 9-year from Total Wine up in Knoxville.
Okay.
And what we have next to it is a single barrel Daddy Rack, which is just under 4 years.
Yep.
And I believe they're both 120 proof.
So the daddy is it rack or crack? Daddy rack. It was 118, and then the Elijah Craig is 123.
Okay.
So about 5 difference. But once you're up in that level of proof, unless you jump to like 130, probably not going to taste a whole lot of the difference in proof.
Right.
Anyway.
But this one I picked up because we had gotten an Elijah Craig barrel pick
that was very good.
That was incredibly good here locally, and so I saw this is a different barrel, and thought well, that other one was amazing, so I really want to give this one a try.
Okay.
And then the Daddy Rack I bought just on a whim because I've had Daddy Rack before. They're like normal offering, and wasn't really blown away with it. But I liked the higher proof of this one, and so
I
grabbed it.
And remember you bringing it into the lounge and me actually tasting it and going, "Oh, this is enjoyable for something I've never heard of."
Right.
So for me personally, I think I'm actually going to start with the Daddy Rack, and then I'll jump up to the Elijah Craig and
sounds
see
good
how
to me.
we go.
Let's do it.
Hopefully, the bourbon will help with the cigar a little bit as well.
And it could be that. So we're both smoking on truly
dry
a clean,
palate.
dry, fresh palate.
Yes.
Neither one of us have had anything to smoke, anything to drink. We both just ate not that long ago, So let's see if that does anything to it.
Smells great. Definitely can smell the proof in that.
That does have a nice aroma, doesn't it?
But boy, it's good, man. It does not drink 118.
That's what I love about it. Like they did a really, really good job picking that barrel.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the cigar.
We're gonna give it a chance, though.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't remember the price point on this.
I want to say it was somewhere between $10 and $15.
That's what I was thinking. I think it was about 12.
A lot of those cigars that they had, boutique wise, were somewhere in the $10 to $15 range. The one that was over $20. I didn't actually pick it up at first, and the place had it was more than a brochure because the thing was like 20 pages.
Oh wow!
So, but they had this like book there from the manufacturer. I guess they'd left, a dozen of them or so, and so they had them scattered around the lounge. And I'm just kind of scrolling through it or whatever, and stopped on this one page because there was a Lancero there, and it was a 4-country blend Lancero. And I'm like, well, okay.
Did you go buy one?
So I went back in to go buy it and went, oh, that's why I didn't pick it up, because it's $23.
Ah, $23 Lancero. Okay.
So,
okay.
But I did go ahead and get it. Me and Patrick got one.
Well, you both are Lancero guys.
Yeah.
So
went out, and I wasn't actually going to smoke it, but Patrick was like, "Well, I'm smoking, mine," and I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll smoke mine with you."
Okay.
And so we both lit up, and like, I mean, we're like, lighting it, and we're both like, mm. And I'm gonna tell you, man, like, it's really good.
Okay.
So,
And it was made by who?
It's man, it was a weird name.
Okay.
I had trouble pronouncing it with
No
it right in
worries.
front of me,
I
genuinely.
thought, so I missed the beginning, I suppose, because I thought you were telling me this was another Lampert.
No,
Because I didn't see a Lancero.
it's not Lampert. It's another brand.
Did it start with like a C?
No, I think it started with a D.
Okay.
But I don't remember. It was a weird name. Like I said, like I had trouble even pronouncing it with it right in front of me. So like I'm gonna have to see it a few more times to remember it. But the cigar was called was it Daughter of the Four Winds or something like that?
Okay, that's interesting
It was
name.
a very interesting name, right? And it doesn't just come in a Lancero. It comes in like 4 or 5 different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to try one in a normal size too,
Okay.
to see how different it is. But I'm going to tell you what, like, it's the same price as an Alma Fuerte, and I would smoke it before the Alma Fuerte.
Is that the one that had? Why did I just? The Alma Fuerte is made by who?
Placencia?
Thank you. Is that the one that had Placencia
No.
leaf?
No, that was the Crux.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't ask if that one did, but I don't think it does because you read the brochure and they've been in the cigar, whatever, for 200 years or something. So I'm thinking that this company is actually making their own stuff.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm gonna talk about this one for a sec here, because here's what I will say: it's good construction. The ash is very tight and it's burning very well, right? Like, and I seem to frequently have problems with the way my cigars burn. So it's nice to see this one is like super even. The smoke production, fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. There is just something about the taste that I'm not feeling.
I'm telling you, it's very leathery.
Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like
it's extremely leathery. And we're not ones to put notes to cigars very often, but I can tell you, like, that's all I get is leather.
And I'm literally like, I'm retrohaling it, hoping to get something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's the same. And
yeah,
Well,
let's talk about the band.
Yeah,
that's something we do. I mean, this is a pretty beautiful band, but you do a better job than I do.
It looks one of the words I like to use is royal, right? It looks like a very royal band, especially with the 1675. I don't know what that signifies. Like I said, I was going to look more into this if I enjoyed it, so I could give you some more pieces. But beautiful colors, man. What is that like? Is that like it's a green, right?
Yeah, it's like a
green and gold,
like a turquoise.
That's what I was thinking, turquoise, but a green, gold. You've got some red in there.
Is that
maybe a little black?
What is that? It's not a coat of arms, but
it looks like a family seal or a coat of arms, or
yeah,
something of that nature.
Quite sure what that is on the main.
It's a good looking band though.
Yeah.
All the way around. Like if you go all the way to the back of this thing, like, yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful band.
Filigree looking stuff,
So
I mean, it's just printed, I think. Well, I don't know. It's kind of raised, huh?
And like I said, if you pull this out the cello and smell it like amazing. You expect that it's going to be a phenomenal smoke, right? So,
and I mean, and let's not knock it too much.
No, I'm saying I'm in the first third, so that's what I was about to say. I'm going to give it a little more, and hopefully we get something else, because the initial is just underwhelming. I think that's the unfortunate. From what I expected, I'm kind of underwhelmed with it.
I'm really hoping it transitions because it's just overwhelmingly that leathery, flavor. Like, I mean, there's nothing else there. And
we don't like to throw shade at anybody, like and again, please remember, this is our personal opinion. You may absolutely love this cigar, so it's worth going out and trying, just on the things of like good construction, great smoke production, all of those things mean something, right? And if you're enjoying it with a friend, so be it. right? Not every cigar is great. So hopefully, like Jason says, this will give us something else as far as taste notes. Right
Yeah, I
now,
need
like I
that.
said,
I need that flavor profile to transition a
yeah,
little
it
bit.
needed to do something.
I kind of want this to tame what I'm getting to tame,
but it's
to
not
let whatever else is there kind of shine
come
a little
out
bit more.
yet.
Yeah.
But I thought
So,
that would help, and so
but we'll see. So we've had one already on the podcast that, we loved everything about it, but the flavor profile, and it just only because it wasn't for us. Like, it's not that it tasted bad. So
which one was that?
Do you remember that? That was that yellow bird.
Oh, the yellow, yeah, wood.
Yeah, wood.
Wood.
Just wood, all wood. And we even said on that episode that if we we were going to keep smoking it, and that if we had anything else to say, that I would add it at the end. And it was just, there wasn't really much more to say. It was like great construction, just woody as hell.
If you say this is what leather tastes like, I don't know. I'm a fan of that. Like,
I mean, I didn't say something. I didn't mean to say like you gotta go out and like chew on some leather. Like that's like
is this genuine leather or is it cheap leather? Like
I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know. Like, but even like the smell of leather, you get that like when you go into like a boot store, like a genuine leather boot store, you get that smell in the store, and it gets all in your mouth, and like you can't help but like
it's kind of, it's almost dirty for me. Like I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like, now kids eat dirt, right? Like I remember eating dirt as a kid and going, oh, this does not taste good, right? Like it's kind of a dirty taste. Jesus, man, I'm wanting to say something nice about this thing, but everything that comes to mind is terrible.
Well, no, I mean, like you said, the construction is great. The smoke production is decent.
I think it's better than decent. Like I'm getting a really good draw.
The draw is really good. I like everything about it, but the flavor profile, which might be a messed up thing to say, but
how far are you in? Are we about the same?
I don't know. You might be a little bit further than me.
I may have just gotten something else. Okay, a slight change.
Okay.
A slight change.
Good.
I'm probably slowly creeping into the second, third. But I smoke a little fast, so.
We're like 20 minutes in, and like we're already pretty far into this thing.
Yeah, I mean it's
a pretty fast burner.
It's a pretty fast burn.
Yeah.
So. But so I think it I don't know if it's the bourbon or if the cigar just tamed down, but the leather just, because if that's what we're using to describe it, is leather, it tamed just a bit.
Yeah, I was hoping for that.
Enough that it might make it more enjoyable.
Yeah, and a lot of cigars do that. They transition through the thirds, right? And so, and then if it's aged, those thirds tend to be a little bit more dramatic in the transitions.
So again, this is the filler is Nicaraguan Puro. So remind me again what that means.
The Puro just means that, well, the cigar itself is not a Puro, right?
No.
Yeah.
Just so
like, just the, right. So typically when we say Puro, we mean the whole cigar is a Puro, and that just means that all the tobacco comes from one country.
Right.
So.
So what does it mean that the filler in this one says Puro?
That's interesting. I guess they're just trying to tell you that, like, all of the filler is from, Nicaragua. Like, it's not a country blend in the filler. You don't usually see a component of the cigar when they say what the tobacco is, that it's a Puro.
So
that's interesting.
So only one part of it came from somewhere other than Nicaragua.
And what's the wrapper? Tell me what the wrapper is on this again.
Ecuador.
Okay.
Wrapper is Ecuador. Binder is Nicaragua. And filler is Nicaragua. So,
And I think that's kind of interesting because, like, this is not a flavor profile
traditional to Nicaragua
that would have given me.
Me neither.
Like, even though it's an Ecuadorian wrapper, like, this is a Nicaraguan cigar, basically,
pretty
other
much
than the wrapper.
Yeah.
And, like, I would not have
thought. And we're both fans of
Yeah, I love
Nicaraguan cigars.
Yeah.
So
And so even though I'll sit here and say like this flavor profile isn't quite up my alley, I can appreciate the uniqueness of it.
I could too, right? So like if this is the type of cigar you're looking for, you would probably absolutely love it because it is all of that, right? Like,
yeah,
it's just not my thing. But again, I don't find it to be a cigar that's not enjoyable.
Right.
It's so overwhelmingly one flavor profile.
That's what it is. Yes.
That it's underwhelming to me.
Right.
Because we're used to flavorful. It's not complex enough.
Yeah, it's not complex enough. That's really what it boils down to. It's very much one dimensional. So we're about halfway through. Let me get me some water here. And
it's changing, right?
Is it?
Is it changing?
I mean, maybe slightly.
I think it may be more of the bourbon than the cigar. It may be my palate has just now warmed up and it's a little bit better for me.
Could be. You know, normally we do have kind of a starter cigar before we start the podcast, and you know that kind of primes the palate, if you will. And we didn't do that this time. We just
but for this,
we
I
wanted we wanted it to be on a fresh palate.
I wanted the full experience, right? Because for cigars that I really like, you know, say a high end cigar, right? I always try to do that fresh. Like I light it before I drink anything, and you know I want to get the taste and the flavor profile, and then I will blend all of those other things in.
Yeah, your best cigar of the night is your first cigar.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. So everything else after that is just going to be, you know, it's going to feel some type of way and taste some type of way.
And I think that I think it's the mood I'm in. Like sometimes, and it depends on the cigar that I'm picking as my, you know, top cigar of the night. But like sometimes I will make that my first cigar, and then sometimes I'll make it the second cigar and make that first cigar something really light.
Really light, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, kind of like, you know, I don't really want this to be my first cigar, but I don't want to blow my palate either because I want to be able to taste this great
the next
cigar.
One I have. Right.
Yeah. And so sometimes I'll do something really, really light, you know, like an Underground Shade, you know, something like that, or an Espinosa Crema.
10th anniversary, Perdomo.
The champagne. Yeah, like one of those, you know. So, but I hear you. Yeah, I mean the smoke production is great. The flavor is changing slightly.
Slightly.
But it's not so overwhelmingly leathery now. I'm getting just tobacco notes, you know, but nothing.
With the leather on the back end.
Yeah, but nothing overly, you know, like special or anything. All right, well, I'm going to move on to the Elijah. Are you a fan of Elijah? Like just
I am.
The normal stuff?
Yeah, I'll drink regular old Elijah Craig, you know.
Yeah.
Standard fare.
I actually like it too, but I don't think I have one right now.
I don't either, but it's because I'm on my wild turkey kick.
I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
And nobody can, the problem with everything else out there is nobody can beat that Wild Turkey 101 at that price point. Like it is, for me, for the price, it is the most bang for your buck, period.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's nothing that tastes like it. You know, they've just done a really good job with the 101.
You're absolutely right. I mean, it is my everyday drinker. It's the only thing I buy in handles. Not that they make everything in handles, but you know, I mean, I had some last night.
So did I. I finished my night with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I ate dinner because we were talking at the lounge yesterday, and I left. Well, you left right before me, but I left shortly after you did because the wife was cooking dinner. So, after dinner, I had my standard dessert, which is a bowl of ice cream, vanilla ice cream at that. And then, you know, I finished up the night with a glass of, you know, healthy pour of Wild Turkey 101.
Nothing wrong. Did you have a smoke or
no? I did not smoke.
Outside?
Nah, yeah, it was still, you know, the humidity was still real outside. So
I cut the grass yesterday, or I finished cutting the grass yesterday evening after the sun went behind the trees.
Yeah,
and I still just
dripping sweat.
Oh man, like I have like these little towels that I bring out there with me whenever I do any kind of yard work, and I mean I'm just constantly wiping my face.
You need one of those neck fans, bro.
Maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't know that would make much of a difference because, like, I mean, I had to, like, peel my shirt off. I mean, the thing was just completely drenched, you know? Yeah, it's so hot and humid out there right now, man. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I hate going out there and doing yard work right now.
I agree. I agree. So I guess I should get my next pour here. We're a little more than halfway through our episode, so I'm gonna take it light on these pours because Jason got us starting out really high proof here. So, you know,
I mean, it is high proof ashes.
it is, baby. It
right?
is. The high proof is definitely in regulation and in circulation today. I don't know about the ashes. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm in or out on this thing.
You just reminded me of you and I when you and I were talking about getting this thing started, getting this podcast started. We're kind of getting things in place, right? And one of the things that was on the list to like figure out was our name, our podcast name, right? And I sat down one night, with a pad, and just started writing out just random words that come to mind when you think about cigars and and bourbon and whiskey and other spirits and hanging out, the camaraderie, like just all that, right? And I just started writing some stuff down and started thinking about making a play on words or a play on letters, and I came to high proof ashes pretty early on in writing stuff down.
Yeah, I remember.
And it just, I don't know, it sang to me.
Yeah.
Right. And like all these other names that I came up with just didn't have the same, I don't know, calling.
No, I did not. Like high proof ashes, like, and the crazy thing is as soon as you showed me the list, I went right to the high proof ashes.
Yeah.
Right to it and was like, that's the one.
Right.
Like, so it wasn't even difficult. It was like all of these names on the list, that one. And I mean, it might have been, there was probably 10 or 15 names on that list.
I had quite a few on there.
That one.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it was kind of interesting and fun to come up with the podcast name, just have that creative spark. And, so, and to just put something down on paper that just instantly is like, yes, I like that one, So this has been a pretty fun journey to put together everything to make this podcast happen. You and I are both doing this. We've never done a podcast before, neither one of us. And so, here we are trying to figure things out. And, I think we got a pretty good starter going here. So,
I mean, like I said, we keep saying we've got other things in the works and, plans coming up. So look forward to doing that. We're going to have some guests very, very soon. Like, so a lot of good things coming, man. Like really good things coming. My God, that Elijah Craig is great.
Yeah, I've been admiring the aroma on it.
Like it's so good.
Yeah.
Like literally, I took it and was like, woo, okay, there we go. That's engaging, right? Like engaged every part of the flavor palette.
It's just a flavor bomb. I mean, it's on top of the proof. That proof just really helps deliver the flavor, and it's a lot of flavor. I mean, look at the color in that.
Yeah.
Like you look at how thin that bottle is, like in that direction, and if you look at it in that thin direction, I mean, it's still a beautiful color.
Absolutely.
As little as you're looking through. So, yeah, the Elijah is really good. I mean, if you haven't had any Elijah Craig, you really should try some, and even the standard fare.
If you consider yourself even remotely into bourbon and you haven't had Elijah Craig, just go ahead and take yourself out of the category because you're not really into bourbon. Like, there's no way you can be into bourbon and not try Elijah Craig. Like, it's one of the major manufacturers out there.
At least tried it.
You have to at least
like you might not like it, but
but
you got at least
there's
try
no
it.
way you haven't had it, right? Like,
right.
So especially when you get up into the picks and the single barrels, small batches, all that type of stuff, they do a really good job. I love what they do with the higher proof stuff. But I can drink, like I said, Elijah Craig standard fare. Doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, so the leather is waning, and I'm just getting tobacco.
But there's nothing else.
Just tobacco.
Yeah, it's not,
just a very generic kind of tobacco flavor to it. So, you know, flavor wise, nothing to write home about, at least not for me,
No,
and
me
not
either.
for you apparently. But everything else about it is really really great. I mean, so like if this is your flavor profile, you will very much enjoy the
Yeah.
cigar. I mean, I'm even getting the little rings. Like, can you see them?
Mm-hmm.
See the
Yeah,
little
man.
rings
Like, I
in
mean,
my
it's
ash?
it's
Like,
again, the construction is great. I
yeah,
can't say anything bad about the construction or the smoke production. Like, I haven't had to fight it at all.
mm-mm.
Like, I haven't had to relight it, and I put it down a couple times and let it sit. Um, you know, so I mean, they did a very good job of putting this cigar together. I mean, it's a tight ash, man. Like,
Yeah, the ash looks really great. I mean, you can even see the little beads that you see just with a really well made cigar with
hmm
with really good product. So it's a great product that they've got here. It's just that the flavor's not for us. So now I'm really interested. I'm still going to look this brand up
yeah, absolutely. Because
because
I
I
want to
want
know
to.
if there's something else that might be
Yeah.
more appealing. Because guess what? They have this in a Maduro.
Hmm.
So, you know,
But I don't like if you're talking about just the just change the wrapper. I am not of the opinion that in a normal robusto size cigar that the wrapper changes
the
the
flavor
flavor
enough.
that much.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that's like 100% of the time. There are times where I have noticed a change in the flavor,
Hmm.
and it's same thing with the Vitola,
Yeah.
right? Like some people say, like oh, the Vitola changes the flavor, and it's like, you know, there may be a few here and there that it does, but I think for the most part, it doesn't change it enough for the average person to notice. So it makes me wonder that if you just take this wrapper off and put another wrapper on,
Would it make it any better?
right?
It's a very good question, right? Because again, so this does not have the flavor profile of a traditional Nicaraguan cigar.
It doesn't,
So it makes me wonder if majority of the flavor is coming from this wrapper, which happens to be from Ecuador.
right? I don't know. It's one of those things like you won't know until you try it,
Yeah.
right? So they have a Maduro of this. Will Jason try it? Yeah, probably, probably.
Well, closing thoughts.
I mean, I think we've said everything on the cigar. Great construction, great draw, great smoke production, flavor profile. It's flavorful. It's just that flavor is not for me.
Right.
And then on the bourbons, the Daddy Rack. Like I said, if you've not found the single barrel version, and they're out there, it's one to try. If you're like, oh, I don't really like Daddy Rack, if you're talking about the standard fare Daddy Rack, I'm with you.
Right.
It's just okay. But the single barrel one here is pretty dang good. And then the Elijah is just it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like it really really is.
Yep. I agree.
It's just packed with flavor.
I agree.
So, how about yourself?
Again, I want to reiterate, like, don't take our opinions on the cigar, right? You have to try it yourself. If you smoke similar cigars that we do, that we enjoy, then this might not be for you. But if you're just out in the wilderness trying different things, go for it. Give it a shot, man. You should try as many as you can. And I don't think the price point is just outrageous on it. Anything below 15 for me, I'm willing to give a shot.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, with the things that we've said are good about it, the smoke production, the construction, give it a shot. As far as the bourbons, I like the Daddy Rack. The Elijah Craig, I feel like, is a few rungs above.
Oh, it's more than a few, I
right?
think. Like it's also double the age.
Yeah. So the flavor profile, on the Elijah Craig is much better than the Daddy Rack, but both are very good bourbons. I would drink either, but that's all I got, man.
Yeah. So like with the cigar, like I think this cigar falls in the category of, could recommend to someone if they like, this type of flavor profile.
Yeah.
Because it actually is a good cigar.
Yeah.
It's just The flavor's not for me.
So let me ask you this: before we go, is there any cigars out there that you can think of that have a similar profile that we might be able to,
I know that I've smoked something with this similar profile because as soon as I lit it, I was like, I've had this flavor before.
Okay.
I mean, immediately. And now that you're asking me, like, I can't place what cigar it is. Like, because it's not my profile, I probably don't have any of these, right?
Right.
So it's not in my regular, like, rotation. But I know that I've had something like this.
I am impressed with the construction, man. Like, I really am.
Yeah.
Right. So, with that being said,
let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us on another episode of High Proof Ashes. Y'all know what it is. I'm Duran, my co-host.
I'm Jason JB Smoke. And, so we didn't cover it. I like to try to cover this on every episode. Yes, this is a cigars and, bourbon spirit podcast,
yeah.
right? But
drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. Drink plenty of water. Yeah. Smoke responsibly. This one here is a reasonably priced, somewhere between 10 and 15. I can't remember exactly. So you don't have to break the bank, and just know your limits when you're drinking.
Yeah.
So
like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications.
Yeah.
Keep rocking with us, man. We hope to see you soon.
See you on the next one.